Hello everyone, and welcome to my Easter DIY. Today I will be showing you how to make these adorable mason jar Easter bunnies. They're super cute, super easy to make, so if you want to find out how I made them, then just keep watching. So first you are going to need some mason jars, any size will do. Some felt paper, I believe it's called. I have 2 whites, 1 pink. Doubled on the whites just because I wanted to double up the ears, but that is optional. White, black, and pink acrylic paint. I didn't end up using my second white one, but make sure you plan accordingly depending on the size or number of mason jars you're using. A paintbrush, scratch that, make it 2, a smaller one and a bigger one. Medium-sized cotton balls, and all-purpose glue. If you'd rather use a hot glue gun, you can. I just didn't want to deal with that really, so I just got this. Alright, so first you're just going to want to take the lid of the mason jar off. Get your paint and your paintbrush at the ready, and basically just begin painting the entire mason jar. Keep in mind, you don't have to be too careful about this. It is just the first coat. I ended up doing 3, but yeah, if there's gaps, it doesn't really make a difference. You're not going to see them after you do the next couple of coats. And once that is all done, just go ahead and flip your mason jar over. You definitely do not want to forget the bottom, so just do that and all of the edges on that. And voila! Just push to the side, and time to paint the lid. Same general idea, I just went around the rim first, and then I proceeded to paint the top of it. The top was a little more tricky because it's hard not to stick your fingers in the paint when you're doing it. If you can see, I kind of just used my technique of just putting my finger in the middle and kind of just swirling around like that. Once you're done with that, just push that one to the side and paint the top. And if you're smarter than me, you might want to use paper towels. I have paint on the table from the last time I did a DIY, so I just figured, whatever, but you should probably use paper towels. And they should look like that. Just let them dry, and then you can begin doing your second coat. And surprisingly enough, I only had to wait about 15 minutes until they were fully dry, so don't worry, don't think you gotta sit and wait for an hour or 2, because it dries super quick. And as you can see, it already has pretty good coverage just from the second coat, but if you're a perfectionist like me, then you are gonna want to do a third. Of course, don't forget the bottom again. And now it is time for the face. Now, I was using my phone as a reference picture, but basically it's super simple. It's just a little nose with a line down it and then 2 eyeballs. So as you can see, I'm just painting on the little triangle nose. Once again, I am a perfectionist, so it did take me a while, not gonna lie. But once I was done with that, again, just the little eyeballs, and that is that. So next, obviously, is the blush, which is even easier than the face. Literally just paint on 2 little pink circles next to the nose, and you're all set. You can make them big or small, whatever your heart desires. Once you are all done, they should look a little something like this. Next comes the ears. Time to get out the felt paper. Basically, you're just going to stack the 2 whites on top of each other and cut out a shape that looks like an ear. Now for me, I made 3 separate types of ears for each bunny, so it's really up to you if you want to make them more triangular, more round. It really is your own choice. As you can see, I'm really struggling to use a pair of scissors. So set those aside once you look at them, I guess, and cut out another one. Now this part is a little bit difficult just because you gotta eyeball it to try and make it even. But it's okay if it turns out that it's uneven. You can always just trim off any excess from the bigger ones. So as you can see, one of mine did end up a little bigger than the other. So I just trimmed that off. until they're close enough. They don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Come on, guys. And there you have it, 2 fairly symmetrical ears. Next, you just gotta glue them together. So I took my all-purpose glue and just glued all around the edges of one of the ears. And I stuck them together. Keep in mind, if you're using the same glue as me, it is very stringy. As you can see, I got some on the table. Haha, whoops. But then just press them together, make sure they're, you know, in the same place. And that's all there is to that. This part does get a little tedious, doing this to all the ears, but I think it's worth it for the look you get in the end by doubling it up. And next you just have the pink. Basically the same idea, just make them a little bit smaller than the white ones. Once you have it cut out, just look at it, make sure it looks okay to you, and continue that process. Bam! Ears. So, once you have all your pink ones cut out, same process once again, just put glue all around the edges of the pink, and then just stick it onto the white. And bam! Those are what your ears should look like when you're done. Okay, so this part, as you can see, I already have one ear glued on. It took me a while to figure out what to do because I could not for the life of me get the ears to stay on the lid. So as you can see, I cut out that little white square. First, I glue that to the mason jar lid. Then once that's down, I glue the ear onto that. Because gluing the ear onto the mason jar by itself does not work, let me tell you. So then just put the glue along the bottom of the ear. Feel free to be generous. You can never have too much glue as far as I'm concerned. And you do have to hold it there for a while. So turn on a show or something, because it's not really that fun to just sit there and hold something that's drying. As you can see, I didn't even think there was enough glue, so I just took it off and put more on. Like I said, you can never have enough glue. Once it is dry though, it does dry really good, I do have to say. It takes a little longer than I thought it would to dry, but once it's done, it's awesome. And as you can see, putting on more glue. I actually did find this really helpful though. Once you have the ear in place, to put glue along the back side and the front side, it just helps it stay in place better. Alright, and that's what they should look like when they're on. Now, they're not fully dry yet, but they're dry enough to stand up, so while those are finishing drying, I did realize that I missed a little bit of the painting part. When I put the lids on, there was still that little lip that didn't have any paint on it, and that was obviously going to bother me a lot, so I just went back and quickly painted those. Alright, and last step, but certainly not least, is the little cotton ball tails. So first I just kind of fluffed them up, just, you know, because they were squished in a package. And this was definitely an easy part. Just dab some glue on the back once you've got it all lined up. And that's basically it. I did put a little glue on the cotton ball too, just because, you know, I love my glue. And then just, only have to hold it in place for a couple seconds, and then if you just set it aside, it'll dry by itself. And bam! Now, as you can see, my ears are dried on very nicely. All that's left to do is put their ears on their heads. And there you have it, my little bunny ears. And there you have it, my Easter DIY. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. I hope you all have a happy Easter, and I will see you guys next week.
Just click on my face.